Hello, this is the 43rd issue of Catch of the Day, available on the Branch Talk YouTube channel. Today we're going to continue reading from Trent Wildy's book, A Change in the Priesthood, A Change in the Law. Starting on page 14, here the law clearly restricts the priesthood to the sons of Aaron, for their priesthood. But there is nothing in the law which even so much as implies that there can never be another priesthood. Therefore, what seemed to be such an impassable contradiction turns out to be no contradiction at all. Remember the lessons. Next, the author of Hebrews shows that even when the tabernacle was first being erected, Moses was plainly told that it was to be built according to the pattern shown him in the mount. In other words, the earthly tabernacle was made according to the pattern of the heavenly tabernacle, and was thus but a sketch or a shadow of that heavenly tabernacle. So it is that from the beginning the earthly priestly system was only to point us to the heavenly priestly system. The earthly sanctuary and priesthood were a symbol for the time then present. Hebrews 9, verse 9. Governed by external regulations imposed until the new order came. Hebrews 9, verse 10. Expanding on this, the author of Hebrews says, page 15, for the law, the typical priestly law, possesses a shadow of the good things to come, but not the reality itself, and is therefore completely unable, by the same sacrifices offered continually, year after year, to perfect those who come to worship. For otherwise would they not have ceased to be offered, since the worshippers would have been purified once for all, and so have no further consciousness of sin. But in those sacrifices there is a reminder of sins year after year, for the blood of bulls and goats cannot take away sins. So when he came into the world, he said, sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but a body you prepared for me. Whole burnt offerings and sin offerings you took no delight in. Then I said, behold, I have come. It is written of me in the scroll of the book, to do your will, O God. Psalms 40, verse 6 to 8. When he says above, sacrifices and offerings, and whole burnt offerings and sin offerings you did not desire, nor did you take delight in them, Psalms 40, verse 6, which are offered according to the law, then he says, behold, I have come to do your will, Psalms 40, verse 8. He does away with the first to establish the second, Hebrews 10, verse 1 to 9. Since the earthly services could not actually accomplish the work of atonement, and since God does not delight in the blood of bulls and goats, when the antitypical system would be put in place, the typical system would pass away. And indeed it did, Hebrews 8:13. Again, when comparing the Aaronic priesthood with the priesthood after the order of Melchizedek, the author of Hebrews says, for here is the testimony about him. You are a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek. Psalms 110, verse 4. On one hand, a setting aside of the former command comes to pass because it is weak and useless. For the law, the typical priestly law, made nothing perfect. On the other hand, a better hope is introduced, through which we draw near to God. And since this was not done without a sworn affirmation, for the others have become priests without a sworn affirmation, but Jesus did so with a sworn affirmation by the one who said to him, "The Lord has sworn and will not change his mind. You are a priest forever." Psalms 110 verse 4. Accordingly, Jesus has become the guarantee of a better covenant. Hebrews 7 verse 17 to 22. Footnote number 14 at the bottom of page 15. The phrase "does away with" could also just as well be translated "abolishes." Check that out. Take care.